show was. And then we showed up here, and it was about the Lincoln assassination. That was not the vibe. That was not the mood we were in. And I'm like, okay, we can chill. And then they did the play from the perspective of the cast in the Lincoln play when he got shot. And they're going, John, it could have been John. He's a swell guy. It could have been John. I'm like, it was John. Like, it was we're trying to be quiet and not giggle, because this is not a silly play, right? The last play we went to before that was like, it was a puppet show. It was a die-hard puppet show. That's the last thing we had been to, so we are not cultured people, okay? And we're just trying to just make it through. I'm like, it's okay, it's a free show, it's going to be fun. And to give everyone credit, it was a beautiful play. It's just that we're just juvenile adults. Like, we're not mature at all. And at a certain point, my husband whispers to me, he goes, I'm not going to make it. What do you mean? I've got like another hour and a half. I'm not going to make it. I was like, we'll walk out at intermission. I'm not going to make it. I was like, come on. Okay, so I'm tiptoeing down those stairs over there because I saw the lights got dark and she started moving a stool around. I was like, okay, scene change. Like, this is when we're gonna sneak out. So I'm tiptoeing down the stairs like the Hamburglar. And then spotlight right on this ass. Yeah, so I ran out of there and I ran out the wrong door and I wound up at the Kennedy assassination. What kind of theater is this? So, I don't know if you've been here before. It's a historical village. It's very cool. It's kind of like our version of Tombstone, but very close by, and there's no like cowboys shooting each other unless it's like a rival gang and anthem thing, But part of the property over here is they have a phone museum. Okay, so I have to warn you. Are there any Gen X people here? Gen X? Over here, Gen X? Okay, any boomers? I see a lot of white hair. You guys are lying. Come on now. A lot of boomers. Okay. I'm warning you, don't go in the phone museum. It just makes you feel bad about yourself. I go in there and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be like the first wind up. Like, hello? Like, it's going to be like that, right? No. My high school Nokia was in their first display case. It's right up front. My pink Nokia from 1999, baby. And it had, do you remember that phone? I chose like the mildly racist ringtone. I don't know why, but my ringtone was called like Oriental. I was like, I was like, I've traveled. I just had a little strolled up memory lane when I saw that. It made me feel bad. I'm like, oh, I am old. I'm over 40, and my childhood is now in a museum. That's great. They also stuffed my principal. I don't know if they do taxidermy up here, but look out. Yeah. I had kind of a weird time in high school. A lot of my friends were a lot older. And here's why. Okay, I had kind of lousy parents. Like, I had the kind of parents that had kids just because it looked good on the Christmas card. They're like, look at our beautiful children. They didn't do like any parent stuff. Okay? My mom used to drop me off at bowling alleys on the weekend. Instead of like hiring a babysitter, she'd give me $10 and say, make it enough. Make it enough? What am I going to do? Show a little ankle on lane 6? Like, what do you make it enough? What do you mean? Okay, and then once I was 18, she started dropping me off at bars. She said, go make friends. She got me a fake ID. Kind of cool, right? But this is why I do this for a career now, and I have no children, so. We start drinking at 18. That's how your life goes. So for my graduation, I had like 26 to 30-year-olds there cheering for me. It's like, Lauren, woo! Doing keg stands and stuff. They closed down the local bar for me. I was like, oh, they're all here for my graduation. That's so sweet. So recently, I just went to my stepdaughter's graduation. See, I was smart. I married a guy later in life, and he already had kids, so it's done. Perfect. I get all the perks. I get to do all the glittery stuff with her, and I don't have to do any of the work. It's fantastic. So anyway, I go to her graduation, and I asked her before the ceremony, I said, oh, what are you doing tonight? You guys had a party? Are you going to celebrate? Maybe have a keg or something? And she said, what's a keg? Which means that my stepdaughter is a nerd. Yes. I didn't get a hold of her soon enough. you know? And then I started to be optimistic. She's like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with my boyfriend later. He's in the band. I was like, oh, cool, okay. She's dating a guy in the band. And I was like, oh, like rock band? She's like, no, they're gonna march on the field after the thing. I was like, no, honey, no, this is worse. It's worse. And that ceremony was long. It was in San Diego. And they had like 3,000 kids. You don't know how lucky you have it living up here. What do we have, like 30 kids in our class? It was like 3,000 kids. And like 10 of them were named Martinez. And the girl that was officiating the ceremony was trying to make it jazzy. So she would just spice up the name. She's like, Martinez. 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 I'm like, just say Martinez for everybody. Like, they know. And then who were we sitting next to for this 3-hour-long ceremony? The parents of Zabrowski. Zabrowski was going last. We all cheered when it was Zabrowski, because that meant we'd get the fuck out of there. It was so hot. I had my little hand fan. It was like 98 degrees in San Diego, and it was sticky. I was like, no. My hair looked good when I got there, and I was like drenched. It was not the vibe. But I did show up there. Okay, I put in a little extra work to look good. So, little backstory. My husband's ex-wife happened to be there. They don't weird. They divorced long ago, like 15 years ago, okay? So, but she's not a nice person. She's just not a nice person. Like, if anything, I'm supposed to be the bitchy one. I'm the new one, right? No, she was mean. She's mean. So I showed up at that thing like I was going to the Oscars. Like, oh, I think I had like a train on. I'm sorry, she didn't even wax her lip. I'm like, honey, get it together. Get it together. Wax the lip first, and then you get dressed. Come on. That's why I shaved my leg for the show for you guys. Put some thought into this. And she tried to hide from me at the graduation, so I was like, oh, there's your mom. Hi. I know, it's catty. I know. It doesn't end after high school, you guys. It doesn't end when the phone goes into the museum. It still keeps going. Yeah. I did work really hard in high school. I had like 3 jobs. I don't know. I feel like I'm the generation that like was cool with actually working. You're not. I see a lot of heads nodding. Yes. There's so many jobs, so much misery. I know. And that kind of pisses me off because the kids now, they don't care. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to help you. Everything is like a chore. It's like a weird energy, right? You've been to a Chipotle lately? Holy shit. Why do they act like they're donating plasma? I mean, the energy is just wrong there. The last time I went, I was like, oh, hey, can I get a tray from you? She's like, oh. They're like in the back right now. I was like, okay, do you want me to go back there and get it? Ma'am, they just finished washing. I was like, okay, so do you want me to like come back up here 5 times like for all the items, or how is this logistically gonna happen? She's like, oh. And slams it on the thing. And that pissed me off, okay? Because I have paid my dues in polyester visors. I sold hot dogs at Legoland. Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to sell hot dogs out in the sun when you're wearing giant Lego hands? Like, everything is awesome. And I didn't have the option to flip around the little iPad like, just an optional question for you. It's an optional question. There's 1, 3, or $5 additional for my gratuity. Like, I didn't have that. I just like, I would do a little dance and I'd do it for free. Like the sad stripper. Sad. That's actually not the worst job I've had. That reminds me. Okay. So I was a phone sex operator. Thanks. You didn't cheer yet. I only lasted 1 call. And I spent more money on martinis to get myself drunk for that call than I earned on the call. I am not a sexy person. I'm very sparkly, but it's just a facade. I'm really not sexy at all. I'm just a dork, okay? So, and believe it or not, like, it's not that hot being a Christian phone sex operator. Like, you sound dirty. Like you need to be baptized. And then Jake hung up on me. Oh, I love to be driving around city to city. So they were flying me on propeller planes. I felt very, very fancy, right? Until I go to check in for the flight. They do not want your name. They don't want your ID. They want your weight. They ask for your weight with your luggage. Okay. Now the lady that goes ahead of me, she's about a size or two bigger than me. And she goes up there and they said, how much do you weigh with your luggage? And she says, I don't know, about 150. And I said, the fuck you are. I'm not going down because of your ass. Nope. So I go up there and they say, ma'am, what do you weigh with your luggage? And I said, 650. They go, really? I was like, we're saying 650 because, yeah. She had a lot of bags. She had a lot of bags. So, this plane is very tiny. I wasn't prepared for that emotionally. This plane sat 6 people. You shouldn't be able to touch everything in the plane when you're sitting in there. That's how small it was. Including the pilot. You shouldn't be able to touch the pilot. I said, peekaboo! And Stan Chen said, stop it! No, and then I tried to get the mood back for everybody. I was like, all right, let me play some tunes and just get everyone to chill out. So I played a little La Bamba, little John Denver, some Patsy Cline. And then for 150, I played a little Aaliyah. I'm like, you got a lot of bags? A lot of bags. I will say, Alaska had fantastic food. Things that you don't have here, you really appreciate there, okay? The freshest seafood I've ever had in my life. It's not normal to order tilapia for breakfast, but I did. I was like, this is the time to do it. Arizona, this is your PSA. Seafood should not be chewy. What are we doing? Do you see an ocean anywhere? I'm just saying. You're worried about the lettuce and you're all doing sushi? Come on. I don't know what you're doing. Oh. And then the tour I was on, I was with the booker and his mother. And she was touring around with us. She's very cute. She's 77 years old and has a heavy New England accent, Boston accent. And she's our tour guide, right? And she goes, Lauren, I have to warn you. Matthew's yard is very sexual. I saw bear hunting out there. I saw a moose going at it. Might have been a crane or two. I have to warn you, Matthew's yard is very sexual. So that's why I wanted to hang out the rest of the trip. Like, let's watch that. Like, that's the free show. Some of you might know me from town. I'm actually an animal chiropractor. It's a real job. One's clapping, they know I fixed their limpy pets. Like, yeah, so that's where I needed to work, was Alaska. A lot of back injuries up there. It's fun. Okay, so people are really funny about their animals, and it's very dependent on where they live, okay? So when I go see an animal, let's say in Scottsdale, they're like, oh, I don't know why Fifi's so inflamed. She's been on all caviar for months. And then I'll go see an animal up in Prescott, and they'll say, this better work because I already dug a hole for Daisy. So Daisy's in the background like, I'm okay. Poor Daisy. Poor Daisy. Yeah. I was, like I said, I was just up in Hollywood earlier this week. And I was very excited to meet my very first vegan hobo. I didn't know that was a thing. I see this man in a wheelchair, one leg. He's in the drive-thru of a Wiener Schnitzel. And there's a commotion because traffic is getting backed up. And I was like, oh, how sad. He probably wants a hot dog. I'm like, maybe if I buy him a hot dog, he'll get out of the drive-thru. So I say, oh, I'll go inside and buy it for him. I go, sorry, I bought this for you. He goes, I ain't eating that shit. I'm a vegan. I said, sir, I just saw you drinking shampoo. He didn't like that at all. So he chased me like, you can't get chased by a guy with one leg. I didn't know that was possible. But he was very picky. And this isn't an isolated isolated incident. Like, I would say that most people that live in Los Angeles don't live in a home. It's shifted, you know? So, I was waiting in front of a club for the show to start. And I'm standing outside with these guys, and I noticed they started doing shots, these little mini liquor bottles. I thought, well, that's kind of strange. Maybe they're nervous about the show. So I asked one of them, I said, hey, what time's the show gonna start? And he said, what show, baby girl? I said, the comedy show. Isn't it about to start? Oh, that club moved last week, which means I was waiting in front of a crack house with some crackheads. And that tells me that comedians really need to start dressing better. I have no idea. I was out there for like half an hour, you guys. It was scary. It was very scary. One of them wheeled up to me with his shopping cart filled with old electronics. He was like, you want to buy a scale? He didn't offer me the fax machine, the iPod Shuffle, my old Nokia. No, he offered me a scale. Now, if you were really an entrepreneur, he would have sold me the crack and I wouldn't need the scale. Which reminds me, a lot of my friends have been losing weight on those shots. You know what I'm talking about? Heroin. Yes. It used to be like $10 on Skid Row. I don't know why, with inflation, it's $300 a month, but everyone's doing this stuff. I've been very tempted to try it, but it has some scary side effects, right? Like, I noticed people aren't exercising, but they're losing weight in weird places. They're mostly losing weight, like, in just their body, but not their head. So everyone looks like a light bulb. You know? I went shopping with one of my friends, and she's like, check it out, Lauren. Size 0 pants. I was like, Tiffany, 3XL hat, babe. I'll drive. And then my other girlfriend, Vicky, she goes, Lauren, you should try it. You're gonna look great. You should try it. I said, Vicky, it says possible blindness. That's okay. You should try it. You look great. Vicky, if I'm blind, I won't know that I look great. Who's gonna drive me around? You? Tiffany's out. Now, the worst side effect of all is like all the loose skin people have going on. They look like those little air dancers in front of the car dealership. You should try it. You look great. I don't have an extra 30 grand for skin removal, so I'm just gonna keep it. Or find Buffalo Bill. I mean, I'll go when you're well. Cut it off. It's fine. They'll do it for free. I put the lotion on my skin. Now, I prefer to lose weight the old-fashioned way. You might have heard of it. Spanx. Ladies. Guys, you don't know what that is. They're magical granny panties. They're so great. They just suck everything in, and they squeeze it to the top like a tube of toothpaste. So these are my knees. I'm jogging. The doctor loves to check my reflexes. last appointment, he was like, new bra, like, now it's a knee brace. You gotta buy the real ones, though. You can't buy them, like, on Temu. Because you gotta wear, like, 6 pairs of them. It takes forever to go to the bathroom. Speaking from personal experience, you're welcome. That's another thing I like to do for fun. I recommend you at least try this once. You guys know what Temu is, right? The little Chinese website? Yeah, okay. So what I want you to do later, I'm a bad influence, have an edible, maybe a glass of wine, and go on Temu. Oh, it's so good. It is like a choose your own adventure game. You never remember what you bought. And for our little gambling addicts out there, they've combined it with gambling. So you spin a wheel for money off, and you're like, $5 off on an inflatable couch? Holy shit, I need that. Yes. I get a company later. There might be a flood. So I bought that thing. Took up my whole living room. Then I ordered a Roomba for some reason, and that thing showed up, and it was the size of a hockey puck. China is not great with sizes, you guys. Okay, and then I had another mystery package show up. And inside the package, it was pleather pants and apple-flavored lube. And I said, well, that's kind of strange. I'm usually more of a grape girl. But I figured it out. The lube was get the pants on. There's like a pie down there. So gross. Yeah. I'm a little old to be experimenting with drugs and things, I think. Let me tell you, I learned my lesson the hard way. 8 days in Vegas is too long. I expired on day 4 because I ran out of money. Vegas is very expensive. They got $10 waters, you guys. So your options are die or go home, right? So I ran out of money on day 4. But my friend had mushrooms. And suddenly we had plans. It's gonna be fun. Okay, well, I'm in my 40s, so I have no metabolism anymore. So the mushrooms weren't working, so I thought. So I added an edible to the mix. They worked then. And I know that because I joined a Japanese tour group. And the mushrooms convinced me that I could speak Japanese. I just kept following them around and saying, sayonara, sayonara, sayonara. And it's not like aloha. Like aloha is like hello and goodbye, right? Now sayonara just means goodbye. So they kept trying to leave and get away from me, like, and I'd follow them and I'd bow. Coincidentally, I'm no longer welcome back to the Bellagio. Yeah, I've been banished to Fremont Street. The rest of the poor people. Fremont Street, if you don't know Vegas well, Fremont Street is like the downtown, right? Fremont Street is where all the people you've ever seen at Walmart at 3 a.m., that's where they go to party. That's where they go to play. And when I went to Fremont Street, I got to stay at a really luxurious accommodation. It was called The D. What a fantastic name for a hotel, am I right? Who thought of that? What a genius. You see on the billboard, like, The D. I knew it was going to be a really classy establishment. When we pull up into the valet stand, and I'm like, oh shit, we're going to have to carry our own luggage. Great. The valet was being put in handcuffs and into the back of a cop car. Well, there goes our mushroom guy. What are we going to do for fun now? So I check into the front desk at the D, and they're like, oh, welcome. We would like to offer you a complimentary beverage with check-in. Oh, how nice. What do you have? Well, we have a keg of Coors Light back here. Yeah, and I drank that. It was warm. But I drank it because it was... Love that. Yes. You know me so well. Oh, God. I gotta stay out of Vegas. I get in a lot of trouble down there. I grew up going there a lot. My dad was a bit of a gambling addict. I didn't realize that it wasn't normal for all of the staff at Caesar's Palace to know us personally and like send us Christmas cards and stuff. And one time he left me with the roulette dealer to babysit me. I found out later, that guy was holding on to me as collateral. I had to spend a whole week with Uncle Caesar because my dad wouldn't pay up. It's a great childhood. And they also say, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? And that's not true if you go to the tattoo shop. And they're not supposed to let you get a tattoo if you've been drinking. I've got some tattoo friends in the back that I know really well. Right? You're not supposed to get a tattoo if you've been drinking. That's the rule. Okay. Well, in Vegas, anything goes. They don't give a shit. And I'm swaying in their lobby, and I said, that one. And I want you to stick it right here. I Mike Tyson'd myself for my first tattoo ever. Went straight for the head. Yeah. Well, it's because I heard his voice in my head. He's like, that tattoo's a fit. Think about it, your head. Yes, I can do it. It would have been cooler if I got like a tramp stamp maybe, like Mike Tyson back here. Or it could have been like Tyson on one side and like Holyfield on the other, you know? And then I make it clap. It's like they're doing a rematch, you know? Or it could have had like Holyfield's ear, like Pac-Man, like, you know. about your feet. Yeah. So I see this place has $20 massages, right? I was like, oh, that place looks really nice. It's called the Tugging Lotus. Sound luxurious, right? I go in there and I'm like, oh, okay. There's bars in the window. They're open past midnight. Let's go. This is gonna be a great night. And I know there's a lot of attractive women working in there, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted the oldest, saddest bastard in the place. Because he was gonna have the pointy elbows to get all the good spots in my back. It's like an old man, real old man. So I'm getting this massage, and he leaves in the middle of it. He doesn't say anything. And then I heard what I thought was a fountain turn on. I'm like, oh, how nice. He's just giving me a little atmosphere. It wasn't a fountain. He was peeing in the room next door. Like an old man would, right? What I did not hear afterwards was the sink. Then he just came right back in there and started massaging my face. Don't travel with me. No, you have to be careful. I make a lot of bad decisions. You ever been so stoned that you ate a Kit Kat against the grain? I recommend it. It's a special challenge. It's fun. And you have to have snacks prepared. If it's going to be a weed kind of night, you have to have snacks prepared, okay? And one particular time, I was down to one Girl Scout cookie. And I was like, oh, that's not enough Girl Scout cookies, but it was the Thin Mint. I was like, I'm going to savor it. I dropped the Girl Scout cookie, and it landed on that spot next to the fridge. You know that spot you don't sweep and you don't clean? Yeah. But I was like, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to have this Girl Scout cookie. So I rinsed the vitamin E capsule off of it. It was the best cookie of my life. You're welcome. Should have had Girl Scouts outside. Whatever snacks. Speaking of bad decisions, I got to meet a lot of people that made very bad decisions. I performed at the men's prison in Yuma. It was a medium security prison. I was so popular. My God, I felt like it was America. So great. And you could tell it was like the rapey stabby group. Like it wasn't the good boys. It wasn't like drug dealers or like stole a hubcap. Like they were the kind that just smiled with just their mouth and not their eyes. Like. So I'm there with a couple other comedians, and they were nice enough to let me bring my husband, who used to be a prison guard, ironically enough. And we're sitting in there on the wall, looking at this crowd of like 100 inmates. And all of a sudden I noticed something. I said, oh, there are no guards in here. Oh, how fun. So I'm whispering to my husband, I'm like, don't panic. Hey, don't panic. I'm not gonna make it. No guards. There was a riot on the other side of the prison, so they didn't give a shit about our show anymore. It was very scary. Oh, and they were really focused on me. Like one guy just kept mopping around me, you know, mopping around me. They were trying to give me like a pep talk. Like, Lindsay, no, Kim, why are you crying, girl? I'm just glad I didn't have to see Bill Cosby in there. We all know he would have tried to show me his put pop. So gross. I was thinking, like, when you're around people like that, you try to figure out what kind of crimes they committed, you know. I have a fantasy. If I were to do a crime before I die, mine would be, I would like to rob a Brinks truck. Now, maybe we'll edit that out of the video, but I just want to say, I think that looks like fun. I saw the movie Heat, it looks like a good time. I also really like Point Break. I mean, maybe I'll rob the bank, I don't know, but I want to rob some sort of financial institution. I feel like they've taken enough of our money, right? So, but then I was thinking, I was like, well, my odds of getting away with it are pretty good. Because if I leave like a hair sample behind, it's going to be between me and 7 other women named Patel. Oh, did you think they had purple extensions in Arizona? No, this came from overseas. Yeah. Instead of sending them into 23andMe, we'll call it Patel-me. It's nice. I do what I can to look good. There's a lot of pressure on us girls, right? Yeah. I get a lot of feedback online. A lot of comments. face. I have shit to say about what I look like. Like, eat a salad, buy a scale. Like, did I meet you in Hollywood? You have one eye, sir. It's in the middle of your forehead. You typing with it? But the brothers. Oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna get them. I mean black people. We don't. Do we have any black friends? We don't. Like, what? Come on, Anthem, do better. Because they're gonna leave the nice comments. Those are the best comments I get. One guy wrote, Little Debbie's got case. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so nice. I sound like a pastry. That's so nice. Oh, it's very sweet. I will warn you, ladies. Those of you that are tech savvy, you're on social media. Some of you guys on Instagram, Facebook, all that. Let's hear it. You're on social media? Okay. I'm warning you. There is a spam folder on social media. Don't open it. That's where the dick pics go to die. Don't open it. You're very pretty in front. You definitely have one in there. Maybe two. Don't open it. You too, Carol. Don't open it. I got another surprise penis this week. It's my first micro penis. I was so excited. I didn't know those were real. I was like, oh my God, is this a thing? Oh my God, it's a medical condition. I was so excited. And this guy was a brave and delusional man. Like, he was posing with that thing like a 90s glamour shot. He's like, come on, little tic-tac. He had a full face and body in that thing. Like, lip bite, smolder. So I responded. I said, wow, how unimpressive. And he wrote back right away because he was waiting for it. And he said, keep this between us, please. But he didn't say please. He just typed out PLZ. So the please was abbreviated like his dick. Nice. It wasn't cute. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, there's different standards for guys and girls in the looks department. Like, guys give us a hard time about using photo filters. You know? And to be fair, like, my goal is to look like I do on Instagram. That's like 7 filters deep, you guys. But if guys can use a filter online to make the wife and kids disappear, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. And I don't miss online dating. Have any of you done online dating? I don't know how rural we are here. Have you done some online dating? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. I was on the first dating app. It's called Plenty of Fish. Remember that? That was like the MySpace of dating apps, you guys. And it was connected to the prison system. I got a lot of messages for dates for commissary in the yard. I didn't know what that was. But then I got that cool gig at Yuma, and I was like, well, equal opportunity employer. I got a job out of it, so that's fine. No, Slim Pickens. I was single when I was in California. And it's so funny, the things that people leave off of their dating profiles. You know? Every guy, for some reason, thinks he needs to say that he's 6'1". That's the magical height. I'm 6'1". Look at my abs. Here's a picture of my dog. You know, it's like the same profile for everybody. 6'1". That's okay. But guys, if you're 4'1", give a gal a heads up. You know what I mean? What did that guy want to do for our first date? He wanted to play pool. Do you know what it looks like when a little person plays pool? It looks like they're throwing a javelin. So I did what any nice girl would do. I put a wager on it. Is it my fault they didn't choose miniature golf? Not really. Not really. Yeah, guys leave out a lot of details. I also dated a deaf guy once. Didn't know it till halfway in. I just thought he found me really interesting. I didn't know he was reading my lips the entire time. But I tried to make it work. Oh, I hear a piano. See, the deaf guy wouldn't have heard that. So I tried to make it work. I learned all the little, like, what do you call them? Jazz hands? Learned the little jazz hands for the purpose. And that was fine. You know? Unless we were having, like, a date night and the lights were out. You know what I mean? Then I had to, like, you know, give him the shoulder tap and tap out. It's like UFC fight in there. Maybe they'll see your hands. August time. I was like, no, I just have terrible luck and I keep picking like people from the Special Olympics. I don't know why. But, so, it's fine. You can laugh at that. They're not here. They're hurdling somewhere else. Yeah, I got married at 40. And something happens when you turn 40. You start getting things in the mail for like life insurance. I'm like, holy shit, how much time do I have left? Like, why am I getting life insurance ads? Like, what is this? Yeah. So I got married at 40. My husband is from Alaska. And he's very hot. But he doesn't know that he's very hot because he's from a small town where it was just like him and the mailman. And the mailman was also the mayor. Very small town. And listen, I know what I'm working with, okay? I'm realistic about what I look like. I'm what you would call a 4 in LA. This is a 4. But I'm a 10 in Seward, Alaska. And I will take that. Any of those little towns, like where the women have mullets, that's where I shine. You go to a restaurant, they're smoking a cigarette while they're eating a steak. Like, Mars, come over here. Got that Rudy Judy fresh and fruity breakfast. Sit with me. That's where I shine. Yeah. He was very sweet. He let me plan the wedding, and that went as well as you can probably imagine with the decisions I've made in life, right? It started off great. I tried to buy my wedding dress at a quinceañera store. Yeah, I thought that meant the size. It didn't. I didn't know that's where I was until I was like halfway through a rack of puffy blue dresses, right? And they were mean to me. It was like that scene in the movie Pretty Woman where they don't let Julia Roberts shop. Right? Being mean to America's sweetheart hooker. Like, that was mean. They were kind of giving me that kind of attitude, right? Like, oh, honey, don't try that on by yourself. Let us help you. Yeah. But I noticed they had a lot of work time. And I made one of the ladies laugh, and her face didn't move. She just said, oh. I was like, oh my God, how much does that cost? I want that. That was nice. I tried to get in shape for the wedding. Trying one of our local workout options we have here. You guys ever heard of Hot Works? Oh, you haven't? That's because it's fucking stupid. It's stupid. You hadn't noticed we live in a desert, right? So it's like 120, and we can go outside and sweat for free. But no, I paid to do that. So you go in a little pine coffin to exercise. So I show up at this place called Hot Works, and the girl, the little anorexic behind the front desk, very bubbly anorexic, but she looked faint. She looked a little dizzy. But I walk in, and she goes, hi, my name's Heidi. Are you ready to change your life? Wrong energy, Heidi. Well, that's okay. I'm going to give you, this is our life alert necklace. Just put this on. And if you get a little lightheaded when you're robocizing, just page me. Or paramedics, whatever you want. Heidi, if I pass out, how am I pushing the button, sweetheart? Did not work. Then I was like, okay, no more Hot Works. This is a bad idea. So I bought an elliptical to use at home. But I bought it on Amazon, right? So I was really excited about this thing until it showed up. And the weight limit on it was my goal weight. But I spent my $40 and I'm not sending it back. So I was just pedaling the rights. I was very snatched on this side of the vows. Not so much here, but this was very tight over here. So nice. Worth it. I think it was tiny. Anything that like folds up and goes onto your bed, not stable. So do not recommend. No. Yeah, I'm a dainty person if you hadn't noticed. I'm like, this sparkles is kind of my vibe. I'm not, I'm more of an indoor kind of gal, right? So I locked it down with my husband by, I lied to him. I pretended to be interested in his rugged hobbies, like bear hunting. Oh yes, let's cover ourselves in bear piss and just track them and see what happens. I kind of misunderstood the assignment. I wore my leftover bear costume from Halloween. It's mostly lingerie with ears, but he loved it. The worst hobby of all, you might have heard of it. Camping. That is not a vacation. That is playing homeless. And the last time we went, we were next to an actual homeless family. And they're like, oh, welcome. Do you need anything? So, this is my first time ever doing merch. I'm very excited about it, okay? I think this is good for everybody. This is my merch. These are donation basis, no obligation, but I do love this. These are stickers that I think all of you need, and here's why. They say, Jesus keeps me out of jail. Oh, you put them so many places on your wine bottle.